Alberta Williams King, mother of Martin Luther King Jr., was murdered at Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta in 1974. She was shot while playing the organ during Sunday morning worship. The gunman was Marcus Chenault, who claimed to be a black Israelite. He was inspired by a religious rhetoric and claimed, "All Christians are my enemies." He shot and killed Mrs. King and also shot a deacon and another church member, according to The Guardian.
In 1974, as she played the organ during Sunday services at Ebenezer, Alberta Williams King was shot by Marcus Chenault, who claimed, "All Christians are my enemies." Atlanta, another King killed.
Alberta Christine Williams King née Williams, September 13, 1903 to June 30, 1974, was an American civil rights organizer best known as the wife of Martin Luther King Sr., and as the mother of Martin Luther King Jr., and also as the grandmother of Martin Luther King III. She was the choir director of the Ebenezer Baptist Church. She was shot and killed in the church by 23-year-old Marcus Wayne Chenault 6 years after the assassination of her eldest son Martin Luther King Jr. King Jr. was assassinated on April 4, 1968, while standing on the balcony of the Lorraine Motel in Memphis. King was in Memphis to lead a march in support of the local sanitation workers union. He was pronounced dead 1 hour later. Mrs. King, a source of strength following her son's assassination, faced fresh tragedy the next year when her younger son and last-born child, Alfred Daniel Williams King, who had become the assistant pastor at Ebenezer Baptist Church, drowned in his pool. Alberta King was shot and killed on June 30, 1974, age 69, by Marcus Wayne Chenault, a 23-year-old black man from Ohio. Chenault's mentor, Ananiah E. Israel, a black Hebrew Israelite preacher who rejected the New Testament, castigated black civil rights activists and church leaders as being evil and deceptive, but claimed in interviews not to have advocated violence. Chenault first decided to assassinate Rev. Jesse Jackson in Chicago, but canceled the plan at the last minute. 2 weeks later, he set out for Atlanta, where he shot Alberta King with 2 handguns as she sat at the organ of the Ebenezer Baptist Church. While Alberta was playing the Lord's Prayer on the church organ, Chenault stood up and yelled, "You are serving a false god," and fired his gun at her. Chenault said that he shot King because, "All Christians are my enemies," and claimed that he had decided that black ministers were a menace to black people. He said his original target had been Martin Luther King Sr., but he had decided to shoot King's wife instead because she was near him. He also killed one of the church's deacons, Edward Boykin, in the attack and wounded retired schoolteacher Jimmy Mitchell in the neck. King and Boykin were rushed to the nearby Grady Memorial Hospital. Officials announced King was barely alive when she arrived at the hospital. Boykin was pronounced dead on arrival. King died shortly afterward from a gunshot wound to the right side of her head. Alberta King was interred at the Southview Cemetery in Atlanta. Martin Luther King Sr. died of a heart attack on November 11, 1984, and was interred next to her. Chenault was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to death. The sentence was upheld on appeal. He was later resentenced to life in prison, partially as a result of the King family's opposition to the death penalty. On August 3, 1995, he suffered a stroke and was taken to a hospital. On August 19, 1995, he died at 44 from complications from the stroke.